once again, and X or Twitter, whatever you call it. It's same thing. I'm Brent Humphreys, joined by my co-host Joey Mullins. Joey, how we doing this week, man? A rough week for Carolina football again last week, man.
Yeah, that seems to be a growing trend here lately. Let one man hang 70 on you, and you up 21-0 going into the fourth. I mean, can't get much worse than that.
Yeah, they let Duke come back and beat him by one and threw an interception on that last drive there. Man, that was rough. But hey, at least they didn't give up 70 this week. That's one
Yeah.
man put 70 on you and the whole team can't. I mean, that's some improvement there, right?
Yeah, that's something to go on anyway.
And then they got we'll talk about it here in a little bit. They got another ACC matchup coming up. Kentucky last week, man, pulls off a huge upset on the road in Oxford against Ole Miss Rebels.
Big time.
What a great game that was, and what a great call for Mark Stoops to go for it on that 4th and 8 call from his own 20-some yard line, and to throw a go route to Barryon Brown down the field. Like, what? What is this?
I think he might have learned his lesson from the Georgia game.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because in the Georgia game, he wasn't going for that at all. And I'm like,
No.
oh, man, he's going to punt here. We're going to lose. Because if you punt to Ole Miss, they're going to hold the ball to the end just the way Georgia did.
Yep.
And that didn't happen. He decided to go for it, and it paid off in a big way. Ole Miss gets the ball back. They fumble, but Kentucky's offsides. Well, they get in the field goal range, and the field goal kicker, it looks like me on the PS5 and playing college football, and it's going wide left. Works for me.
Absolutely. I'll take it. Yeah, it was a great win for him.
But as good a win as that was, the game of the week last week, it was what it lived up to be. It lived up to the hype.
Absolutely.
Georgia at Alabama.
Yes.
Alabama goes up huge in the first half. Georgia looks like, man, just get to the half. Hopefully you can get out of here and score some points. I mean, everything was going wrong for him. Muff punts, quarterback getting sacked. I mean, everything.
Horrible.
Carson Beck looked like he didn't look like a first-round pick in that first half. But second half rolls around, man, and it turned into a game. Georgia comes down, even takes a lead.
Mm-hmm.
And the very next play, Alabama's like, you know what? Nope, we ain't doing this. 17-year-old Ryan Williams right down the sideline after making that catch takes the lead back for Alabama, and that was it, man. What a great game.
That was, I think, as far as entertainment-wise, one of the best college football games of the year so far.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is.
It was very entertaining to watch. Whether you're a fan of either team or not, if you're just even a sports fan, that was exciting.
And people saying that the 12-team playoff is going to make it to where regular season games aren't meaningful. Well, they proved that wrong there, because that game was meaningful, and the players cared, because that was awesome. That was, like you said, best game of the year so far. But man, last week with our picks, I went 17-4. Not bad. A pretty good week right there. Really good week.
That's really good.
And Joey, you went 13-8. It's over 500. It's over 500. It's pretty good. Look, so far in my college football picks, I'm killing it. And you're doing really good too. Our records, I'm 83-21. You're 80-24. I mean, that is great. Compared to my NFL picks, I am like 9 games under 500 in the NFL. You can't predict that stuff for nothing. But here, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. We're not doing bad. I mean,
Oh no,
that's definitely respectable.
Yeah, that definitely is. I mean, those are great numbers right there. I mean, just think if you went and you put money on every pick that we put in here, you're coming out on the positive side for sure.
Yes.
But Man, it's a week 6 college football. And we'll go on and jump right into our pick'ems this week. And we start off tonight, 9 o'clock on Fox. The Michigan State Spartans at 3-2 travel to Oregon to face the number 6 Oregon Ducks. Oregon is 4-0, and they're a 23.5-point favorite. 52.5 is the over-under. Joey, who you got?
Oh, let's see. I'm going to go with the obvious and go with Oregon. Michigan State's just not really performed well. I mean, they got pounded by Ohio State. Played a decent game against Boston College. I mean, respectable, but it's Boston College. Yeah, give me Oregon in this one, and give me the points. I think Oregon will cover it.
Yeah, Oregon. I don't want to say they started off the season slow, but because Dylan Gabriel threw for over 300 some yards in that first game.
Yeah.
But they didn't score a whole lot. But then they picked it up. The Boise State game was pretty good. Boise State were like, oh well, they're not. That's Boise State. They're not really that good. But man, that running back Boise State's got is crazy. So that turns out to look like a pretty good game. But ever since then, Oregon's got it clicking, and they've got it going. Dylan Gabriel and Tez Johnson, Jordan James, all them guys got it going back there for Oregon. It's just too much firepower. The Big Ten's not used to this firepower, so Michigan's not going to be used to it. Michigan State's not going to be used to it. Give me Oregon to win this one, and I like Oregon to cover too. Michigan State's got to go out there to Oregon to play late night football. Like I said, Big Ten, you can, snooze fest whenever you watch most Big Ten teams.
Yeah.
But Oregon's fresh to the Big Ten. They don't play that brand of football. Give me Oregon in this one. And, it's going to be fun to watch Oregon go up against Michigan State there.
Yeah. Have you seen Oregon's new uniforms? The Heroes uniforms.
I have not.
Yes.
I'll check those out. Are they as sweet as the Detroit Lions uniforms were Monday night?
Pretty close.
Okay.
Pretty close.
Oregon's got the best uniforms in college football belong to Oregon because all the combinations they have. I mean, they've got a million different combinations for Oregon football, but I'll have to check it out. You say it's the Heroes uniform?
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty sweet looking. The gloves. I mean, obviously they got the glove. I mean, it's pretty sweet. The helmets are nice too.
Is that what they're wearing tonight?
I think so. Yep.
Okay. Is it? Okay, right here. Stomp out cancer.
Yeah, they're
the yellow with the
yellow
black and the silver.
The black with the silver helmet. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Not bad. I've always liked
Oregon's. Sweet.
I've always liked Oregon's uniforms anyway myself. Always.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, they've got the best uniforms in college football for sure.
Yep.
They look pretty good. Yeah, that'd be nice to see tonight.
Yeah.
The next matchup, 9 o'clock tonight. Again, why are we putting both these games on at 9 o'clock? Put one on at 7. I know there's a game on at 7, but put one of these on at 7, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. On FS1, Syracuse at 3-1 travel to Vegas to face the number 25 ranked UNLV Running Rebels, who are undefeated. UNLV is a 6-point favorite. The over-under is 56.5. Joey, I am surprised UNLV is a 6-point favorite without Sluka Doncic out there quarterbacking. Who you like in this one?
Well, I mean, Syracuse is good. They're no pushover. I mean, Kyle McCord, he's a decent quarterback. Syracuse, I mean, they lost to Stanford by 2, and heartbeat away from them being undefeated. I'm gonna have to say, give me UNLV in this one. I think they're just gonna have a little too much firepower for Syracuse. I think it's gonna be a close game though. I think it's gonna be a decent game to watch. But give me Syracuse to cover in this one. But give me UNLV to win.
Yeah, this should be a good game right here. Last week was the first week, Sluka just basically left right in the middle of the week, kind of put UNLV in a little bit of a bind there, going into their game. But they come out and they win last week despite that.
Yeah.
Syracuse, Kyle McCord has played really well. LaQuint Allen has played pretty good for the running back. They put up a lot of points. They put up a lot of yards. Kyle McCord's thrown for over 300 in every game so far and 4 touchdowns in every game but one. Their only loss was that Stanford loss, and Stanford, I guess, is better than what is advertised. But I think the Vegas odds are more in the favor of UNLV this week because of that Stanford game.
Yeah.
That being said, I like Syracuse to pull off the road upset in this one, and to get UNLV here. 6 points, man. I like the money line Syracuse on this, man. 6 points I think is a lot because, like I said, they're running with a new quarterback, and that's what they're going to be doing. The UNLV is going to want to run the ball, and Syracuse is want to go fly high and pass all over the place. So give me Syracuse in this one in the straight up upset. And I think you like the over or the under on that?
I like the over. Just because
56 and a half is a lot, but yeah.
Syracuse likes to score.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So give me the Cuse in this one, and Kyle McCord with his new team on the road. The next matchup, we're gonna hop out of the top 25, like I said, and we're gonna head to Chapel Hill, 12 o'clock on Saturday. Pittsburgh Panthers at 4-0 travel to Carolina to face the North Carolina Tar Heels. Pittsburgh is a 2.5-point road favorite. The over-under is 63.5. Joey, you like your Heels in this one?
I sure don't. And I hate to say it. I mean, I know it's bad, but I just don't have any confidence in them right now. And I don't think they have any confidence in themselves. I think that James Madison game, getting 70 points hung on you, kind of took a lot out of them confidence-wise. I mean, Carolina's not a terrible team. They're not as bad as what they're showing, and it seems like Pittsburgh always has Carolina's number in football. It's always a close game. But yeah, as bad as I hate to say it, I'm a lifelong Tar Heel fan, but right now I ain't got no faith in them. What do you think?
I've picked Carolina every game this year. I don't have no faith in them this week either, man. James Madison, they done something to that team. And then the gut punch last week against your rival. I mean, you're going to be up for your rival. But last year, Carolina was cruising along in the season, looking pretty good, may get a 4-team playoff. And then a mediocre Pittsburgh team comes in and beats them at Pittsburgh. This year it's at home. But, man, Pittsburgh's undefeated. Pittsburgh's been playing pretty good. I like Pitt to win this one on the road in Carolina, and I think that they're going to cover that 2.5-point spread, maybe a field goal game. Carolina will keep it respectable at least.
Yeah.
But I don't like them. I don't like their confidence right now, like how they're playing. If any team needs a bye, like Kentucky's on a bye this week, if any team needs a bye, it's Carolina to kind of refocus and get things going back again. But I like Pittsburgh in this one. And, my other co-host, Gage, he's a Pitt fan. So there you go, Gage. I picked your Pitt teams twice this weekend, man.
Wow.
There you go. So the next matchup, we'll jump back in the top 25. Oh, by the way, I mentioned Kentucky's got a bye this week. Also, another team that we picked that's not in the top 25, Coach Prime and the boys, they have a bye. while we're here, Joey, talking about Coach Prime and the boys, how about the upset that they pulled? They were 14-point dogs last week and went in, just smacked UCF all over the place. They couldn't get their running game going or nothing. Colorado was pretty good on defense last week too.
And that's usually their Achilles heel. You know, I mean, Colorado with Shadur and Travis Hunter, and they can score. I mean, they can put up yards, they can score, they can move the ball, they move the chains, they stay ahead of the chains most of the time. But their Achilles heel to me has always been their defense. Man, they can't stop anybody. But they did UCF. I mean, I don't know what Coach Prime got into him on defense, but he needs to do that same thing next time every game they play, because they played let's just say they played an all-around complete game against UCF.
Yeah, the best game that they played all year, and like I said, 14-point dogs, and to go in and just take care of business on the road. Really good win for Colorado, and now they've got it might be bad that Carolina needs a bye week. Colorado probably needed to play again to build on that momentum from last week, but they've got the bye already. But man, it was a good game for Coach Prime and the boys.
Yeah.
The next matchup, 12 o'clock, the UCLA Bruins travel all the way to Pennsylvania to face the number 7 Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State is a 28-point favorite. The over-under is 46.5. Joey, you like the big road dogs here? If you didn't know?
No, yeah. No, I mean, I got Penn State in this one. That was a great reference there, by the way. I got Penn State in this one. It's UCLA is just not that they're just not good. There's some of these games there's not really a whole lot to say. You know, it's like David Goliath versus Goliath. I mean, I don't think UCLA even has a shot. I don't even see them scoring much. Yeah, give me Penn State and 28, give me the points. I think Penn State will cover that.
So every week I've got on here, and when we do a Penn State game, I say every week Penn State only loses games in the season to Ohio State and Michigan. Once again, they're not playing Ohio State. They're not playing Michigan. They're playing UCLA, who is terrible. Mm-hmm. UCLA has one win. They got smoked earlier in the year to Indiana, who, I mean, I guess they're decent this year, but should they be blowing teams out? Probably not. UCLA, you've got to travel all the way across country to face Penn State. Give me Penn State in this one. I think Penn State covers the spread. This is going to be my laugher of the week for the top 25.
Yeah.
And this slate this week is not the best, matchups. Next weekend looks awesome. I mean, there's a ton of games on next weekend. It's going to be great. This weekend's kind of, there's a couple. I mean, it's not the worst we've seen, but it's not best. But give me Penn State in this one, and it's going to be ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the SEC here. Number 9, Missouri, undefeated, travel to College Station to face the number 25 Texas A&M Aggies. Texas A&M is a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 48.5. Joey, who you got in this one?
Oh, this is probably one of those games you were talking about that there's a few games that's going to be, good. I'd consider this one of them. This is going to be a heck of a game. Texas A&M, man, they're great. They're at home. But I'm rolling with Missouri in this one. Give me Missouri. Give me Cook to do his thing. Noel's had a good year so far. But yeah, give me Missouri in a close one. Competitive, fun to watch. Maybe not as fun as Alabama, Georgia, but fun to watch.
So Texas A&M earlier in the year, the first game of the year, they played Notre Dame, and I was like, go with the Aggies. Aggies going to win it. Give it to Texas A&M. They let me down. Then the next week. Or not last week, but last week I went against Texas A&M when they was playing Arkansas, and I'm like, I'll roll with Arkansas. Texas A&M wins. What are we doing here?
Well,
Missouri, on the other hand, last week or week before, when they played Vandy, very close game. Vandy should have probably beat Missouri in that game, but they didn't. Like you said, Cook's been having a good year. Noel, Luther Burden, the wide receiver. That being said, though, Texas A&M's at home, 2.5-point favorite. I'm gonna roll with the Aggies in this one. Give me
boy.
Texas A&M. I may be doing it to myself again. Texas A&M may let me down. This may be my Notre Dame. You have the issues with Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Mine may be A&M. We'll see. But give me Texas A&M to cover. I like the over in this one because I think Missouri can put up a lot of points, and I think Texas A&M is going to have to match them, and I think they will. The next matchup, the SMU Mustangs travel to Louisville to face the number 22 Louisville Cardinals. Louisville's a 6.5-point favorite. The over-under is 56.5. Joey, you like the Dirty Birds in this one?
No, I do not. Some of this one's going to be a hate pick because, I'm not rolling with Louisville. Not saying it's going to be a landslide either way. But yeah, give me SMU. Let me see. You said it's 6.5. My goodness. Yeah, give me SMU. And what's the over under? It's 56.5. Give me the over. Give me SMU. SMU, they lost to BYU, but close game, 3-point game. It's not like a blowout or nothing. They had a chance to win the game. But yeah, give me SMU all the way. L's down.
Yeah. So last week, Louisville lost to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that. Louisville's still ranked. Kentucky's had a better win than Louisville, but they're not ranked. Maybe I'm a little salty there. Whatever.
No.
SMU, like you said, SMU, they lost one game this year, BYU. BYU's a good team. BYU's undefeated. That's not a bad loss.
And only by 3.
And only by 3. You got Preston Stone, quarterback for SMU. Hasn't been like he was last year. I think they've even tried to use 2 quarterbacks. Running back Smith, he's had a pretty good year for SMU. Like you said, this may be a little bit of a hate pick here, but I'm rolling with the upset this week of SMU over those Louisville Cardinals. And, it's L's down all day, every day over here. No doubt about it. So, go Pony Express and give me the over, too. And, of course, the spread's getting covered because straight up.
Straight up.
Yeah, money line that.
Money line.
The next matchup, we go to the Big Ten. The Iowa Hawkeyes travel to Columbus to face the number 3 Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State is an 18.5-point favorite. The over-under is 45.5. Joey, we both know Iowa can't score, but do you think that defense can hold Ohio State's offense in check?
No. Not the whole game. I think Iowa's defense is going to be, present as it always is, but they're not going to hold Ohio State in check the whole game. And Jerry McNamara, the quarterback, he's had a decent year, but give me Ohio State in this one, man. Ohio State's just not slowing down, man. They're just steamrolling right now. Junkins, 5 touchdowns on the year. He's, almost a lock for a touchdown every game. But yeah, I'm rolling with Ohio State. Give me the points.
Yeah. Iowa, football, they can stop these small schools. These little, lesser powers, they can't really score on Iowa. Ohio State's never really had that problem with them.
No.
Ohio State right now, they're like a machine. You've got Will Howard out there. You got Travion Henderson running back. Then if he gets tired, Judkins comes in.
Yeah.
And then you've got the freshman Smith. Then you've got Tate. And then you've got Ibuka. I mean, there's just weapons all over the
On
place.
and on and on.
Yeah, just keeps on, keeps like the Energizer Bunny, man. Give me Ohio State in this. I like Ohio State to cover this, and I like them to go over. Yes, I'm picking an over in an Iowa game because I think Ohio State will probably get the over, most likely. But yeah,
that's rare to pick an over in an Iowa game. That's for sure.
It is. It is. But I mean, with the opponent here, I feel comfortable in going over on that.
Yeah.
The next matchup, 3:30 on the ABC. The Auburn Tigers travel to Athens to face the number 5 Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia, coming off of their loss, is a 22-point favorite. The over/under is 51.5. Joey, you like Auburn to pull the road upset?
No. And I think you're going to see a completely different Georgia team in the first half of this game than you did the Alabama game. Carson Beck's not going to come out 2 games in a row like that. I mean, the first half of the Alabama game, he couldn't do anything right. I mean, if he would have been over to tie his shoe, something else, the other one would have come untied is the way it felt. And me and you were watching the game and we were both like, my God, what is going on here? This is very, very uncharacteristic of Ohio State in general.
Georgia.
Yeah, or Georgia. Oh boy. There we go. Hey, I had to throw one in. I had to throw one in there for old time's sake there. But no, I think Georgia's going to come out, man. They're going to show that they're not that, The first half was just horrible, but give me Georgia, give me the points, give me the over.
Auburn is terrible. Not very good at all.
No.
And then they're going to travel to go face a undefeated or a one-loss pissed-off Georgia team after their loss to Alabama last week. They're not going to be happy that they lost. They're like, okay, we're going to get revenge on another team from Alabama this week. Give me Georgia in this one, man. I think that they cover that spread, and I like the over in this one because I think Georgia's going to come out, and Georgia is going to pound Auburn. I know this is like one of the big rivalries in the SEC, but this isn't going to be much of a rivalry this year.
No.
Georgia's mad, like I said. They're going to come out, and they're going to pound Auburn in this one. Like you said, Carson Beck, man, they couldn't do anything right last week. Nothing was going right for them at all, but it's going to go right for them this week. Give me the dogs in this one. And I think that Lovett's going to have a pretty big game. ETN, I mean, they're just going to go crazy on Auburn this week. Give me the dogs.
I agree.
The next 3:30 matchup coming off. Speaking of a team coming off a loss last week, number 12, Ole Miss Rebels at 4-1. 4-1. Look at that one right there. Travel to Columbia to face the South Carolina Gamecocks, who are 3-1. Ole Miss is an 8.5-point favorite. The over/under is 53.5. Joey, what do you think about this one?
It's going to be another one of those, decent matchups to watch.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a good game. I'm going to say Ole Miss. Like you said, Bogo, coming off of a loss, a little bit frustrated, looking for some revenge. I don't think they're going to use South Carolina as a punching bag and they're just going to blow them out. I mean, it could happen. I mean, they're capable of it. Let's put it that way. But give me Ole Miss in this one. I think Jackson Dart's going to have a great game. I think Harris is going to have. This is going to be he's going to have a phenomenal game. I just have a feeling it's going to be a breakout game, big time for him. But yeah, give me Ole Miss, and they are 8.5. Yeah, give me the points.
Ole Miss, like you said, Harris, man, he's went off just about every game. He's going to get his, no doubt.
Yep.
Even against Kentucky, he had a pretty good game. Ole Miss last week come out, very first drive, went right down the field like, oh boy, this is going to be a long day. And that's really all they did after that. I mean, they really did not have much else for that defense. What concerns me with Ole Miss is they didn't play anybody before they played Kentucky, and then Kentucky kind of held them in check. South Carolina has a really good defensive line, as I could, firsthand experience. I know they haven't really. I've seen them against Kentucky tear up, Vandergriff. If they can get to Jackson Dart, it may be a long day for him. But coming off a loss, I think Kiffin is going to get Ole Miss ready to go and ready to win on the road. It's going to be a tough game. I like Ole Miss in this game here, but I like South Carolina to cover the spread. The over-under 51.5. I think it'll get hit, but I don't think that Ole Miss is going to score as much as they have before Kentucky. But also, I don't think that South Carolina is going to hold them to a small amount of points like Kentucky did. But give me Ole Miss for the win. And what should be a good game. That should be a real good game.
Yeah.
And then we traveled to the Big Ten, number 23, the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers travel to Illinois to face the Northwestern Wildcats. Indiana's a 14-point favorite. The over-under is 41.5. Joey, what do you think about the new top 25 Indiana Hoosiers in their game this week?
Hey, they're rolling. I mean, that's a little bit surprising. I mean, not a shock, but a little bit surprising. I mean, like I said, they're rolling. Northwestern, had a couple bumps in the road, had that double overtime loss to Duke. I didn't really particularly get to watch any of that game. But and then now they're coming off a loss 24-5 to Washington. So I would say give me Indiana in this one. Like I said, I think Northwestern's a decent, they're doing decent this year for what they got, but I just think Indiana will be too much. And give me Indiana to cover.
Man, I haven't really paid any attention to Indiana at all, other than that win that they had against UCLA, where it's like, man, they blew that team out. And then you see Indiana keeps winning. They're undefeated. They're in the top 25 for the first time in, I don't know how long. Long time. Northwestern, they're 2-2, playing at home. Indiana's a 14-point favorite there. I'm going to take the Hoosiers in this one. I think that they're going to cover that spread. I think that the under is going to hit in this one, 41.5. It's low, but I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of scoring going on, especially from Northwestern side. But give me the Hoosiers in this one, but I think they cover the 14. I know it's a lot on the road, but I think they'll continue their winning streak. The next matchup, the new number 1 Alabama Crimson Tide travel to Nashville to face the Vanderbilt Commodores. Alabama, 22.5-point favorite. Over-under is 54.5. Joey, you think this will be a letdown for Alabama after their big win last week?
I don't see it. Not against Vanderbilt anyway. If it was against, somebody else, but yeah, no, I don't see it. Give me the Tide all the way, Tide to cover. But Vanderbilt, I mean, they, other than when they got, pounded by Tennessee, they played Georgia State, they lost by 4, double overtime to Missouri. So, I mean, they've been right there. They're a heartbeat away from being a one-loss team. But even if they're a one-loss team, I don't think they're going to be able to handle Alabama at all.
Yeah, that Tennessee pounding was last year.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I got to keep it going, man. I got to keep it going.
Joey gets confused really easily.
Yeah.
The Alabama's, they're coming off of a huge win.
Yeah.
Great game. One of the best games of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Vanderbilt coming off of a bye week, but they played the week before Missouri really close.
Mm-hmm.
Should have beat Missouri.
I watched a little bit of that one.
Yeah. Well, they had Georgia State the week before, and like I said, why are you playing at Georgia State? I mean, Vandy's actually kind of a fun little team to watch. They beat Virginia Tech the first game of the season. Diego Pava is a decent little quarterback from New Mexico State. I think that they're going to make this game, fun for a little while. I think that they'll hang in for a little while.
That
But
ain't gonna happen.
overall, I think Alabama's going to end up pulling away, and they're going to cover the spread. And the over is going to hit in this one, Alabama. There's no letdown here in this game right here. Give me the Crimson Tide in this one, and roll, Tide, roll.
And don't forget about that pounding against Tennessee last year. I mean, that's got a lot of implication on this game this year. I wouldn't have brought that up for no reason. I'm just saying.
I know it. You've got a reason for bringing it up.
Hey.
I get it.
It's on the stat sheet. I mean, it's got to be right. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
The next matchup, 7 o'clock. This could be the DJU Alunga Bowl because he played for both these teams. The number 15 Clemson Tigers travel to Tallahassee to face the number. There's no number in front of this team. The 1-4 Florida State Seminoles. Clemson's a 14.5-point favorite. The over/under is 46.5. Joey, do you like Florida State, who was a top 10 team, to pull off an upset at home?
No, they're just like North Carolina this year. I have no confidence in them whatsoever to do anything. That they're probably the biggest disappointment, team coming in, especially looking at it from a big time school, top 25. They have to be the biggest letdown this year, in my opinion. But yeah, give me Clemson in this one, and give me Clemson to cover. The way Florida State's year is going.
Florida State, man, all that hype to begin the season, and then they lost the first game in Ireland. It's like, okay, maybe it's because they're playing in Ireland. Then they lost to Boston College, and we're like, well, maybe Boston College is a good team, maybe. And then they lose to Memphis. It's like, okay, something ain't right here.
Yeah.
And then they get pounded by SMU last week. Pounded. And it's like, well, maybe they just suck. DJ doesn't look very good. DJ probably shouldn't be playing. But Clemson, on the other hand, they had that loss early to Georgia. They got pounded by Georgia. And ever since then, they've picked it up. Klubnik has looked pretty good. The running back, Moffitt?
Yeah, that's how I say it.
He's looked pretty good.
But now don't take what I say to the bank because you never know about me.
Yeah, because we were mispronouncing the kicker for Atlanta wrong last night too. But it's Young Wei, just to be clear. But Moffitt has played pretty good, and I like Clemson to win this one. I like them to cover. Man, Florida State basically just pack it up and get out. You were saying they're like Carolina. You don't trust them. Carolina would pound this team is all I've got to say. That's how bad Florida State is this year. Give me Clemson. Give me Clemson to cover this one right here in this one. I'm liking the over in a lot of these. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. The next matchup, the Utah State Aggies at 1-3 travel to number 21 Boise State Broncos. Playing on the blue field. That's going to be a advantage for Boise State for sure. Boise State's a 27-point favorite. The over/under is 65.5. Joey, who do you like in this Mountain West matchup?
I'm taking the over. Both these teams can score. Give me Boise State. Yeah, give me Boise State. Give me the points. Something about that blue field, man.
That's nice to see the blue field. I mean, it's definitely an advantage. Blue uniforms on a blue field, that's definitely a home field advantage for sure. I like Boise State in this one too, man. They played Oregon really close. That's their only loss. They've won the rest of their games. Have you seen their running back stats this season for Genty?
I have not.
Oh.
My
Genty right there, man.
My stat generator just died, so you got to keep me updated on stats.
He puts up over 200. Oh, I'll get you some stats here. Ashton Genty right here. His games this season against Georgia Southern. He had 20 carries for 267 yards, 6 touchdowns. Against Oregon, he had 25 carries, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns. Against Portland State, he didn't play a whole lot. 11 carries, 127 yards, no touchdowns. And against Washington State last week, 26 carries, 259 yards, 4 touchdowns.
I'm thinking
guy's a beast.
I'm thinking I know where his name needs to be in my bet slip.
Definitely going to be in the bet slip there. That's
impressive.
A lot of yards. Yeah.
Impressive.
And, it's like, okay, he done against Portland State. All right. But he did it against Oregon, too. So, I mean,
it's not just a fluke.
It's not just a fluke. It's, man, and he's definitely one that I've been like, okay, I've got to. And you got to remember, too, if you do bet on Boise State, like, don't put their quarterback in there. Just put the running back in there. Just running back props right there.
That's it.
The next matchup, 7:30 matchup, the number 4 Tennessee Volunteers, undefeated, travel to Fayetteville to face the Arkansas Razorbacks. Tennessee's a 13.5-point favorite. The over-under is 56.5. Joey, you like the home dogs in this one?
Yeah, as bad as I hate to admit it, give me Tennessee. I don't know. I'm like you, man. Tennessee's one of them teams I love to pick against them when I can. But yeah, I'm rolling with Tennessee in this one, bad as I hate to admit it.
I would love to pick Arkansas in this game. At home, night, the place is going to be ready to go. But last week I picked Arkansas, and they let me down against Texas A&M. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Tennessee, they was off last week. They had a big win against Oklahoma the week before. Tennessee didn't really score a whole lot. Oklahoma had an answer for them. I think that they're getting back. I mean, they didn't really have an answer, but they slowed them down.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. Give me Tennessee in this one. I think Tennessee will cover that spread, and I think the over is hitting. I think Tennessee a whole bunch of points in this game right here. Tennessee's been impressive, man. They are one of the top 5 teams in the nation for a reason. They've earned it. They've been pretty good. Nico, the freshman quarterback, he's had a really good year. Squirrel White out there, wide receiver, pretty good. Sampson, the running back. I mean, they got a lot of weapons out there on offense.
Yep.
And I like for them. I don't like for them. I think that they'll win the game. It's not a like for them, but I think that they'll win it, and they'll cover that spread. It may be a 3-touchdown game, but the over's hitting.
Yeah.
But you look at Arkansas, man. They put up a lot of stats and stuff too. That's why I think the over is going to hit in this one. But Tennessee's still going to cover that.
Yeah.
And we go from a 56.5-point over under to a 41.5-point under with our next one. Number 10 Michigan Wolverines travel out west to Seattle to face the Washington Huskies. Washington is a 1.5-point favorite at home. Joey, what do you think about this one?
Ooh. Oh man, 1.5-point favorite at home. Oh. Trying to think. What do you think about it? I'm going to hear your opinion on this game first, because I think I know where I want to go with this, but I want to see if you agree with me or
not. Washington, they are definitely not the team that they was last year. Right. And once again, this is a rematch of the national championship game. If you think of it, I mean, it's hard to believe, but it is. You don't think of either one of these teams. Washington's not even ranked this year. Kalen DeBoer, after that loss in the championship, he hightailed it out of here and went to Alabama. Michigan, they don't throw the ball at all. I mean, same as last year. They run the ball. Their quarterback, he's going to look to run the ball. And you got Mullings and Edwards back there. They're just going to want to pound the ball. I like Michigan in this one. I think that they're going to pull off the upset on the road. I'm actually surprised that they're an underdog. Washington just hasn't been very impressive this season so far. Michigan really hasn't either. They had a good win against USC. They lost to Texas, got pounded by Texas.
Yeah.
But Texas is a different animal.
Yeah.
But give me Michigan in this one. And I think that, well, of course they're covering, but the under, give me the under in this one, 41.5. Give me the under. Michigan should have lost last week to Minnesota, though, to be fair,
Yeah.
too, in that one. They had a big lead and about blew it. But give me Michigan. I think they'll win this week at Washington. It'll be tough, though, on the road.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, I was gonna lean towards Washington, to win the game, but like you said, Michigan's just gonna run the ball, pound the ball, run the ball. Um, that's kind of their brand of football. So yeah,
Big
I agree
10.
with you. Big Ten, yeah, yeah. And but yeah, I agree with you.
You like the under or the over in that one?
I'd probably go with the under. Yeah, I gotta go with the under. I mean, yeah, give me the under. I was gonna change my mind, but no, I'm going under.
So the next matchup we got, a 7:30 game, the number 11 USC Trojans travel to Minneapolis to face the Minnesota Golden Gophers. USC is an 8.5-point favorite. The over-under is 49.5. Joey, like I said, Minnesota maybe should have pulled off the upset last week at Michigan. Do you like them to pull off the upset here against Miller, Moses, and the USC Trojans?
I do. I do.
Oh.
I'm going with it. Hope I don't get let down. But yeah, I'm gonna go with it. And what'd you say the over under was? My stat thing died, so I can't remember what you said the over under was.
49.5.
49.5. I'm gonna take the under in that one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that the under is going to hit in this one here. USC, they look good at times, and then at other times they haven't. They're 3-1 still. Miller Moss is still not going to scramble. I'll just tell you that he's not scrambling for nothing. Woody Marks has been pretty good this year for USC. Minnesota, like I said, they should have beat Michigan last week. Coming back, they almost did. I like USC to win this one though, but I think Minnesota will probably cover. It'll be close. It's still weird that this is a Big Ten matchup right here, isn't it? I mean, USC and Minnesota in the Big Ten matchup. But give me the Trojans. Give me the Minnesota cover, and I'll take the under too on this one. I don't know, something about that Big Ten, man, where the always hitting.
Yeah.
We go to our next 7:30 matchup. The Baylor Bears and Nick Sirianni look alike. Travel to Ames, Iowa to face the number 16 Iowa State Cyclones. Iowa State is a 12.5-point favorite. The over-under is 44.5. Joey, what do you think about Nick Sirianni and the boys, as you referred to him as?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Give me Iowa State in this one and the cover. Yeah, it's I do get confused easily, but that was funny. That was funny when it happened because I don't know what I was thinking like in my mind. I was thinking, we talked about, the avenue my brain was going, but it just didn't quite get there. It veered off to the left a little bit. But, yeah.
It's all right. It happens. And then you're like, hey, I was like, well, I mean, then you're like, wait a minute. No, it's the Jets coach, Robert Saleh. And I'm like, I see that one. Yeah. I was like, I don't see Nick Sirianni, but I see that one.
Now, there you go. And he's back.
Yeah. So I like Iowa State in this one too. But Baylor last week, they were the favorite at home against BYU, and BYU beat them. But Baylor came back and made it pretty close. I like Iowa State in this one, though. I think Baylor's going to cover the spread at 12.5, quite a bit.
Yeah,
Baylor's not good, but they're not bad. Iowa State, they're decent, but Iowa State should belong in the Big Ten with Iowa and all of them. I mean, it's one of these boring schools. I mean, football, basketball. Yeah. Anytime you think Iowa State or Iowa, it's just like, oh man, in any sport. I mean, I can't get behind them in any sport, really.
I can't either.
But I like them here to win. Give me a Baylor cover, and I'll take the under in this one. The last top 25 matchup, the number 8 Miami Hurricanes travel out west to face the California Golden Bears. Miami is a 10-point favorite. The over-under is 53.5. College game day will be there tomorrow. The first time in California. Joey, some people are saying that this game is woke versus Coke.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Who you like? Who you like in this match?
Oh my gosh! Oh man, people have more fun than anybody, man. I swear. My goodness. Oh man. Oh, it's even hard to make a pick now. Wow. All right.
Get wild in Miami.
Yeah. What happens in Miami stays in Miami. Yeah. Give me the Canes in this one. Miami's a good team. I think they're going to take care of their business. But yeah. Give me Miami in this one.
Give me Miami in this one too, man. 10-point favorite. I think Miami's going to cover that spread. Cal's going to get woke up early and go to game day, and then have to wait all day to come back and go to that game. The fans are going to be tired, sleepy by that time. Miami should have lost last week to Virginia Tech. I mean, being honest, they got lucky on that Hail Mary that was kind of reversed.
Yeah.
Cam Ward is a Heisman candidate, maybe the Heisman favorite right now.
Absolutely.
He's going to put up a lot of numbers again. Just don't put if you do bet on this game, don't put anytime touchdown. Just don't put an anytime touchdown in this one. Just put yards and Cam Ward passing touchdowns, and you'll be fine. Give me the Hurricanes in this one. I'll go with the Hurricanes. I won't go with I was going to go with what they were calling this game, but we'll go with the Hurricanes in this one, and Cam Ward to continue his Heisman campaign here. Give me the cover. Give me the over in this one. Cal, like I said, they beat Auburn on the road, and people's like, man, what a good win for Cal. Auburn sucks. I mean, that's what we talked about this year. They're not the same team. But I like the Hurricanes big in this one, and
I guess they must have thought, what a good win for them, because you beat Auburn. So Auburn's, you beat the name.
Yeah, that's it.
All you beat.
You beat
you beat the name. Yeah,
it's like beating Kentucky basketball during the COVID year. I mean, that's what basically you beat the name. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why a lot of people say, what a good win for them. I mean, there's other teams in the country that's way better than Auburn that if they would have beat them, then nobody would have said that about them.
That's like if they went and they would have beat BYU. They would have been like, oh, okay, they just beat BYU. BYU's a better team than Auburn this year, It would have been a great win.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, that is this week's Pick'ems here. Got a pretty decent weekend. Like I said, it's not the best slate, but it's still college football all weekend. There's some good games in there. Next weekend, man. Oh, man, it's going to be tough to pick them next weekend. Is all I got to say. It's going to be a lot of good matchups.
I'm probably going to have to start early and do some research on the matchups next week and start thinking.
I already looked at one of them games. So if you go into the betting apps, like they've already got like Oregon State or Oregon Ohio State game ready to go for next Saturday, and I'm like, oh boy,
my goodness.
I can't wait for that one.
Oh, I know. And that's not going to be the only matchup.
That's just one. That's
the appetizer. That one.
Oh man, that's
crazy.
It is, but like I said, we got to get through this week here. It's going to be a good week. Anytime you got football. And, hey, don't forget, starting next Tuesday, we've got Conference USA firing it up. Every day until Thanksgiving, we have 55 straight days of football,
man. Every day.
Oh, man. Can't wait for that. Penn State plays USC next week. That's another big one. Texas, Oklahoma.
Oh, my.
Florida, Tennessee. Ole Miss, LSU. I mean, there's a lot of good games on next week.
Whew.
Missouri, Massachusetts. Missouri's traveling to Massachusetts. Like, why? Why? Why are we doing this? Is there really a reason to go up there?
My goodness.
Not going to gain anything.
Man.
But, yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it for this week, and we'll catch y'all next week. Yelling from the couch. See ya.
See ya.